Didn't expect this to blow up, but the reason La Crystal didn't park in front of her own garage was because the building was old with old garage doors that extended out before going upward. The door would have hit her car, which wasn't even hers. It belonged to Uber. If she moved further away, she would have been blocking the narrow alley that barely had enough room for one car to drive through. I no longer live there, but she did something else dumb right before I left. The building had a no pet policy. Well, she got a Yorkie because she's above the rules. Maintenance entered her apartment one day for some scheduled work they informed all the tenants about ahead of time. The dog freaked out and bolted out the door when the men entered. It ran out into the street and was hit by a car. Sadly, it didn't make it. She blamed property management because it wasn't her dog and she was watching it for a friend. Where she is now, I'm sure she's blaming someone else for her transgressions. Years ago, I moved into an apartment with individual garages in the alley behind the building. The building had 10 units, 8 studios and 2 one-bedroom apartments. I had a one-bedroom. The day I was moving in, I met La Crystal. She lived in one of the studios on the opposite end of the building, and she immediately informed me, I park there, referring to in front of my garage. Parking is scarce in that area and street sweeping is done at odd hours, like 3:30 a.m. So when people find a spot, they don't move until they absolutely have to. They'll Uber places instead of driving. I asked why she didn't park in her own garage, and she stated she had an old broke-down car in her garage already. I told her that she needed to find another parking spot as I leave for work most days at 4 a.m. She then gives me her phone number and just says, call me and I'll move. I'm already thinking of all the work I have to do moving in and setting up, so I just say, okay, as to not ruffle any new neighbors' feathers, and I just didn't feel like arguing with someone 5 minutes within moving in. Calling her to move her car started out okay but quickly turned into a pain. There were times I'd call her and 10 minutes later I was still waiting. I'd call again only to be screamed at with a, I told you I was coming, damn. It didn't stop there. There would be times I'd come home at night and couldn't get in because she blocked my garage. It got to a point that I asked her to stop. She wouldn't. The owner of the property was a buddy and client of mine, so I eventually told him about it. Well, I didn't pay her jack and she got towed again. A few days later for parking in front of someone else's garage. This time the owner, my buddy, drove by and saw her car. She was towed at least 2 times after that. Along with a buddy she had parked in front of someone else's garage. Of course she thought I had something to do with it.
I need your support for 1000k subscribers, so please subscribe my channel. Ask Reddit Stories 102 for daily Reddit stories.